Hello, everybody, and welcome in on this Wednesday morning. Brooks Baptiste here, checking in from the First Alert Desk. We do want to give you an update about a news conference that we're about to take live in just a few minutes. It appears from our live view that we have here from the First Alert Desk that they are not ready to begin just yet, but it's set to get underway any minute now at 10 o'clock regarding the Forest Park Police saying that they have made an arrest within a shooting that happened at a motorcycle club. So, again, we expect to bring that to you live as soon as we see people take the podium. But for now, we want to talk about your weather, because if you stepped outside this morning, whether you're going to work or getting ready for work, you've likely noticed that it has been raining. But will that rain stick around? First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi is here with your weather.
Yes, and thankfully the rain is going to start to move out over the next several hours. You can see it's already starting to move out of the city of Atlanta. So hopefully, if y'all are about to head out the door, there you go. I'm just getting myself set up. For all y'all who don't know, a lot of you do know, your girl's 5'1", so that just requires a little extra effort to get onto this TV now, because we got to get the boxes and all that good stuff. Anyway, let's talk about the weather. You can see there on First Alert radar that there's still a couple of light showers drifting east of the city, and that will continue to be the trend over the next several hours. We'll continue to have the showers move east, and will ultimately dry out for the back half of the day, leading to a drier afternoon and evening commute. It's still going to be kind of damp out there, though, very muggy. The air will feel thick out there, and we'll have cloudy skies, so it's not going to be a really pretty day, but at least we won't have washout conditions continue into the back half of your day. So once this rain continues to push east and out of the area, we'll be pretty much said and done with the rain for today. Emphasis on that, because we do have quite the rainy pattern that we're settling into. Here's a look at what you can expect hour by hour. So we'll hold on to temperatures in the 60s between now and noon. Today will be significantly cooler than yesterday. We topped out in the low 80s yesterday. Today, only the low 70s, even some upper 60s out there north of the city. But you'll notice that drier trend going into the back half of the day. So you're picking up the kids from school around 2, 3 o'clock. We'll have about an isolated chance for a quick passing shower, mostly dry for that evening commute. And then we'll have at least a chance for a few scattered showers overnight tonight. Here's a look at those high temperatures today. Again, with the cloudy skies and the rain, upper 60s for Blairsville, Gainesville, and Athens, but 70s for Atlanta off to the south through the day today, which is cooler than average. Average is closer to 80 degrees for this time of year. Now tomorrow, partly sunny skies, so I do think we'll see some sunshine tomorrow, and that will all be ahead of evening storms. So after sunset tomorrow, a line of showers and storms will move in. It'll be scattered in nature, and we could maybe have an isolated strong storm, maybe an isolated severe storm with gusty wind and small hail. Not looking at any kind of tornado threat tomorrow, but again, after sunset, that's when I think our highest coverage of rain will be. Can't rule out a quick passing shower or two through the day tomorrow, but again, I think we'll see sunshine. Temperatures go back into the low 80s with that sunshine, and then storms arrive after sunset. The rest of the week looks like this. Mostly dry on Friday. So if you have any Friday plans, that's the best day to get out and enjoy kind of your evening on Friday. Scattered rain does return on Saturday. Now, the weekend forecast is really tricky, and I'll explain why in a second, but it does look like Saturday will be the wetter day of the two as of right now for the weekend. Of course, it's Mother's Day weekend, so what we're encouraging you right now is to make backup indoor plans for both Saturday and Sunday, because it is possible that Sunday ends up being a little bit rainier than what we're expecting right now as well. But scattered rain looks pretty likely on Saturday, especially from Atlanta off to the south. A few showers possible Sunday. And then Monday is our next First Alert weather day. We'll essentially have this low pressure center lift out of the area, and as it moves out of the way, it's going to bring us a lot of soaking rain, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. And that's really going to be the story the next several days. What is happening is we have this low pressure center that is going to develop across the southeast. We call it a cutoff low. So it removes itself from the main pattern. So they just sit. And that is when you get into these really unsettled rainy patterns, because what this low is doing is pumping in Gulf moisture, adding some extra lift to the atmosphere, and giving us rounds and rounds of rain. So as long as this low situates itself across the southeast, we're going to be stuck in this rainy pattern. Now, that low is going to shift a little bit out of our way in the end of the week, so that's why we'll have that mostly dry day Friday, but then it comes right back over the weekend, increasing those rain chances. Here's a look at an early model run on Saturday. Now, this could very well change. So right now, it looks like mainly from Atlanta south, we'll look at scattered showers on Saturday, and then Sunday, we'll have just a chance for spotty showers on Mother's Day. But if that low does lift a little further north, which one of our models is indicating, we could have pretty much a soaker of a Saturday. So very possible that that's a first alert weather day, but it's just too soon to tell. There's too much uncertainty. You'll definitely want to stay in touch for that Mother's Day forecast. As of right now, here's what your Mother's Day Sunday is looking like. And we added these wonderful pictures of my mom and my Grammy, Rodney and his mom, and Ella and her mom in this forecast graphic here. Just so sweet. We love all of our moms. Upper 60s on Mother's Day. So cooler this weekend as well, especially after a day in the 80s tomorrow. We'll trend cooler into the 60s both Saturday and Sunday, with Sunday again turning out drier. After that first alert weather day for that soaking rain Monday, we'll hold on to at least a rain chance on Tuesday. The rain will be lifting out on Tuesday, but between now and then, we're looking at a widespread 2 to 4 inches of rain with maybe some isolated higher totals. Those light purples and pinks you're seeing there down towards central Georgia, that could be rain totals in excess of 5 inches. So I do think by Monday, when we have those rounds of rain continuing, we could have to watch for the flash flooding threat on Monday. Here's a look at that first alert 7-day forecast. So we'll hold that first alert weather day through noon. After that, we'll drop it because we'll trend drier for your evening commute. Highs only in the 70s today. Sunshine for the first half of the day, at least some, with temperatures in the 80s for your Thursday. Mostly dry until after sunset. That's when storms roll in, maybe an isolated strong storm. Friday, maybe just a spotty storm or two, but mostly dry on Friday. And then we bring the rain chances back over the weekend with scattered on and off rain looking fairly likely on Saturday. Starting to dry out Sunday. That rain chance could very well go up, though. So again, stay tuned to the forecast going into the weekend. Make backup indoor plans on Sunday. And then Monday's the first alert weather day. Rain will greet you out the door Monday, going back to work and school. And then that rain will finally start to clear out next Tuesday and into the middle of next week. All right, so we are still watching for this press conference that has not yet started, but it is expected to start fairly shortly. So make sure you're staying right here on Atlanta News First Plus, and as soon as that does begin, we will take you out live to that.
Courtney Jacobazzi, the one and only. Thank you so much, my friend. And I don't know what it is, but Courtney always gives us a full-blown lesson every time she does the weather, and that is something that we can appreciate for sure. So again, if you are just joining us this morning, we do want to let you know about a news conference that we are expected to take in just a couple of minutes from now. Hopefully they'll be getting started in just a few, but I want to give you some background about what's happening here, because the Forest Park Police Department says that it has made an arrest in a shooting at a motorcycle club. You may be familiar with this story, but let me fill you in if you're not. This is a story that we've been staying on top of since April 27th, that Sunday evening, where we learned that Anthony Hearns and Isaiah Mack were both shot and killed on that evening at a motorcycle club along Jones Road near Old Dixie Highway. Now, there were 2 others that were shot, and at last check, we're told that they are still in critical condition. Police say Donnell, McKnight and Nigel Blackwood are charged with malice, murder, and violation of the Georgia Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. And according to police, both are members of the Outcast motorcycle gang. So we should be hearing from them quite shortly. But our Sarah Hammond actually reported on this story shortly after it broke on our airwaves. This again happening on April 27th. We went ahead and brought it to you as breaking news on that Monday. Still one of our big stories that we were watching that day. And Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond has more of the background about how we got to this point.
We know that officers responded to a call for shots fired on Jones Road about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and they say that when they arrived, multiple people on motorcycles sped away, and officers said as they navigated what they described as a chaotic crowd, they found 3 people shot. 2 of them died as officers tried to help. Another one was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. After further investigation at the scene, police learned 2 more people had been shot, but they were taken to the hospital by someone other than EMS. So a total of 5 people shot at this motorcycle gathering, and Forest Park police have not named any suspects or revealed what may have led up to this shooting. If you have any information about this shooting, you are asked to call the Forest Park Police Department. Of course, we will keep you updated with anything that we learn throughout the morning. At the Forest Park Police Department, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
So again, Forest Park Police now expected to give us more information and an update regarding an arrest that was made in this shooting at a motorcycle club. Again, from what we know at this hour is that Anthony Hearns and Isaiah Mack were the 2 who were shot and killed on that evening. This was Sunday, April 27th. This happened at a motorcycle club along Jones Road near Old Dixie Highway. Two others we're learning were shot there at that scene. And at last check, are in critical condition, still recovering this morning. So a live look right now, where we are expected to hear more from officials in just a bit. Right now, it looks like the room is still getting set up. They have not been able to come to the podium just yet. I'm waiting for just a second just to take this live look because I'm not sure who's at the podium, but I know it's not one of the officials. But again, I can tell you that according to police, Donnell, McKnight and Nigel Blackwood are the two who have been charged with malice murder along with violation of the Georgia Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. Now taking you there where we're getting a live look where things should be getting underway in just a bit. According to police, both are members of the Outcast motorcycle gang. We just heard from Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond, who reported on this shortly after it happened, possibly on April 28th, I believe is when we had that report. And she was saying that there were several people who had been injured, but there hadn't been any arrests. So the police department was depending on people to come forward and depending on people to, provide some information in hopes that they would soon be able to make an arrest. Now, right now, we don't know if that's what happened or what led police to arresting Donnell McKnight and Nigel Blackwood, again, who are the two that are charged with malice murder in violation of the Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act here in Georgia. But we are expecting them to let us know. Hopefully, they'll give us an update about how they got to that point, whether it was truly from a tip that was received from community members, whether it was somebody from the actual motorcycle club themselves. Again, we should be hearing more from them in just a bit. So they told us that it would be getting underway at about 10 o'clock, but just to kind of let you guys in on how things work in the news business, sometimes, agencies can say 10 o'clock and it may not be until 10:15, may not be until 10:20, sometimes 10:30. So again, we are going to keep you posted right now. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back and we'll take you back out here live to where we are expecting police to give an update on that deadly Forest Park shooting that happened on April 27th. We hope to hear more from them, but stay there. We'll be right back in just 3 minutes. All right, everybody, want to bring you back to this live look where we are waiting for the Forest Park Police Department to give us an update regarding a shooting that happened in Forest Park that was a deadly shooting. We should be hearing more from officials in just a bit, but I do want to bring you back to some of the other stories that we're watching at this hour, because when you look at what the headlines are, one of the main ones that we've been on top of today, because it could impact you if you have any plans to travel in the near future, we're talking about the Real ID. So do this for me. Check your wallet, if you've got your wallet nearby, and look to see if you have a gold star or a black star at the top right-hand corner of your ID. If you don't, we've got a problem. If you do, you're all good to go. Now, for a lot of people, they don't really have to worry about this because they already have a Real ID, and the Real ID just means it's compliant with federal regulations. Now it'll allow you to fly without issue, but then also that Real ID means that it's been put in place so that they're a little harder to counterfeit, and that's the whole idea of why we're even seeing those. But again, we have an update from Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport from Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond, who has been there this morning trying to see how everything's been going for people who have those Real IDs.
Well, TSA estimates about 1 in 5 flyers nationally are showing up without a Real ID, but state leaders say that 99% of Georgians are Real ID compliant. Nationally, about 81% of Americans have their Real IDs. Now, Georgia started issuing these back in 2012, so if you've renewed your license since then, there's really no need to worry. Just take a look at the top right corner of your driver's license. If you have a gold or a black star there, you have what you need. And airport officials say they will have staff on hand to help answer any questions and streamline the process here in Atlanta today. If you don't have a Real ID, you will still be allowed to fly right now. Just bring your passport or military ID. Just be prepared for extra screenings.
It really is so we know you are who you say you are. So it's taken a lot of time and effort, and Georgia's been way ahead of the game on this.
Airport officials here say they don't expect to see any sort of crazy delays because of this today, but they are recommending that if you don't have a Real ID, to allow 3 hours before your flight instead of the usually recommended 2 hours. At Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, I'm Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
Well, that's some pretty good news. The fact that most of our state, literally almost everybody in the state, seems to have a Real ID, so everybody is in compliance with the new rules. But there is always that 1%. So if you are part of that 1%, no judgment at all, but definitely say that that's something you'll want to handle and get taken care of, because it could impact you for your next flight. Again, it's mainly for that. It's not like if you don't have the Real ID, that if you're stopped by police, pulled over, receiving a ticket or anything like that means your ID is invalid. Just to be clear, that does not mean that your ID is invalid. It just means that you don't have the most up-to-date ID, and those IDs, according to experts and officials, say that they wanted to go this route because this was something that started shortly after 9/11, where they had the idea, and the whole idea is so that you won't have to worry about counterfeit. They're a little harder for people to make fake versions of and whatnot. So again, we'll be watching that story closely, and we'll keep you posted if we learn of any delays at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. But the good news is it does look like everything is moving just fine there, according to Sarah Hammond. So we'll continue to watch that story. Now, another story that we are watching this morning is the Coweta County Board of Commissioners voting on a moratorium on a proposed data center near Noonan. There are a lot of residents who say, not in my neighborhood. They don't want this at all. And Atlanta News First Blake Devine has more regarding what the wants are and what the no-goals are from the community residents.
Data centers have been popping up throughout nearly every corner of Metro Atlanta, although not everyone has been welcoming in them with open arms. Tonight, Union City is hosting a town hall meeting aimed at educating residents about data centers while addressing any concerns. Just 30 miles south of here, Coweta County recently put a pause on a proposed data center near Noonan. The 800-acre site called Project Sale has received some strong pushback from neighbors.
I am very disappointed that it's even being thought of. We're in a rural area. We have no business near us.
Coweta County's 180-day moratorium on that data center will last up until November. Meanwhile, back out here in Union City, that virtual town hall will take place tonight at 6:30. Reporting in Union City, Blake Devine, Atlanta News First.
Big thanks to Blake Devine for keeping us posted there of what's happening out there in Coweta County and in Noonan regarding some of the changes and a potential data center. So again, that moratorium now in effect for that proposed data center. We'll keep you posted if we learn more information regarding what's happening out there. Let's take you back live to what we're expecting to get underway at any moment now, where Forest Park police say they have made an arrest in a shooting at a motorcycle club. So to give you background, if you are just joining us this morning, I want to let you know, because many of you could be familiar with this story, but some of you may not be familiar. So I want to get you caught up about what happened here. This is a look of the scene. This was the night of Sunday, April 27th at a motorcycle club along Jones Road near Old Dixie Highway, where police tell us Anthony Hearns and Isaiah Mack were shot and killed that evening. 2 others were shot and at last check are in critical condition. So they're still recovering at this hour. Police say Donnell, McKnight and Nigel Blackwood are charged with malice, murder, and violation of the Georgia Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. According to police, both are members of the Outcast motorcycle gang. So this morning, we do expect to hear from police regarding what led to the arrests of these individuals. We want to take you back out here live, where it appears that things are about to get underway at any moment now. So let's listen in so that we can hear the latest update regarding this shooting and now the arrest and the individuals who are up against charges. Let's take a listen.
Sounds good.
Now let's just go to the station.
All right. So good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for coming on such short notice. I'm here today to provide an update regarding the incident that happened off of First Street on 2 Sundays ago. So since that incident occurred, our investigators have been working tirelessly to bring those responsible for that incident to justice. I am happy to announce on yesterday, our detectives were able to obtain 2 arrest warrants for 2 individuals. Their names are Donnell McKnight, he's also known as 1HQ, as well as Nigel Blackwood. They are both members of the Outcast motorcycle gang. The incident stemmed from a social gathering at the location in Forest Park. It is believed that it was a territory argument that ensued. From that argument, 2 individuals were killed. Since all of this has transpired, we have taken action as it relates to the actual business owner. The business owner has been issued a citation, and the actual property owner has been given a cease and desist order by our judge to ensure that that business does not open back up, and also to prevent something like this from occurring again. One of the individuals is currently in custody, and that is Mr. McKnight. We ask the public, if you do know any additional information regarding this incident, to please give us a call. All of those individuals that are responsible for what transpired inside of the city of Forest Park will also be brought to justice. This is just two arrests, but I do believe that many more will be forthcoming as it relates to the incident. I will answer any questions that you all may have.
You mentioned a territory. Is the territory here in Forest Park, and is it known that the Outcast motorcycle gang and the Soul Motorcycle Club have ties to the area that you guys know of?
Not to the Forest Park area. From my understanding, the Wheels of Soul is out of Philadelphia, and they're trying to establish their presence here inside of Georgia.
So do they have any ties to the area, though, either motorcycle gang?
No, not to my knowledge.
What do you mean about a territorial dispute? Can you expound on that?
Well, I can't go all the way into detail, but I can tell you that the Outcast motorcycle gang is a known motorcycle gang here in Georgia, in the Atlanta metro area. And so, from my understanding, they don't want to give up their territory, and that's kind of what led to this altercation.
Based on these arrests, what message would you send to other motorcycle gangs in this area that want to start violence similar to what happened last Sunday?
Don't commit violence here in the city of Forest Park. It won't be tolerated. I have a great detective division. I have a great police department, and we will work tirelessly to bring any and all of those who commit crimes in our city to justice.
Can you clear this up, Chief? Yeah, I think you said that one person's in custody, but you said 2 arrests.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's 2 arrest warrants. 1 person is currently in custody.
You're still searching for the other person.
Well, yes, we are partners. We have partnered with the Clayton County Sheriff's Office, and they are assisting with the search.
What does that mean? Because I saw you kind of like grimace. What do you mean by that?
I'm sorry?
About you're assisting, the Sheriff's Office is assisting you. Is he in custody or not in custody at all?
Mr. Blackwood is in custody. Now, let me get the names. One moment. One moment. Mr. Donnell McKnight is currently in custody. Mr. Nigel Blackwood is currently outstanding.
Can you talk a little bit about just overall, have we seen something like this happen here before? I know it was a pretty big scene for those who were out there that night, and just people watching this moving forward. There were a lot of Facebook chatter and concern. People watching this, what should they know?
Well, this is not something that happens in the city of Forest Park. City of Forest Park is a quiet and safe community. And so that's why it is so upsetting that they brought their business here, because this is not something that happens in the city.
2 years ago, almost to the date, we saw 16 members of the Outcast motorcycle gang arrested in Augusta, Georgia. Do you often see this type of gang activity trickle into the metro Atlanta area as well as here at Forest Park?
I'm not sure of the exact history with Outcast, the Outcast Motorcycle Club or gang, so I wouldn't be able to give you an accurate answer on that.
Chief, can you share what led you to this one individual you have in custody?
Yes. So as I originally reported, there were 4 individuals that were actually shot. 2 actually succumbed to their injuries, and the other 2 were transported to the hospital. Those 2 that were transported to the hospital are the 2 suspects thus far.
The business owner, do we know if he has any ties to the motorcycle gangs? Could he face any additional charges as well as the person that was leasing the space out?
That's something that we will inquire further about through our investigation.
Can you back up, Chief? Because you just said something I thought was very important. You said the 2 people that were transported to the hospital are the suspects?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
But one is not. So the second guy,
Blackwood.
So he's in the hospital?
No, he's currently out. Both of them are currently out of the hospital. One is currently at Clayton County Sheriff's Office, and the other one is still outstanding at this point in time.
So during your investigation, you figured out that though either one or both were the shooters?
Yes, sir.
So from the hospital, where did Mr. Blackwood go? How did he just left the hospital?
Well, we did not have warrants at that time.
Do you have any idea where he may be, and is there a direct danger to anybody in the public?
Well, that's part of the investigation. We are looking into that, and so that's not something I can actually disclose as of right now.
Can you disclose this, Chief? Was this a shootout? Did the victims, the people who were killed, did they shoot at them?
That's not something I can answer at this time.
Where are the 2 from, the 2 suspects?
I'm not 100% sure, but I do know they do reside in the metro Atlanta area.
Chief, good.
I am good.
Just really quick, too. People, I know it was asked and answered, but again, people that want to bring this kind of violence to your city, what's your message to them again?
Don't come to the city of Forest Park. If you do come to our city and you commit a criminal act, we will pursue you.
Just as more for my clarity's sake, when you say motorcycle gang, is this known to be a violent gang, or do they just use the term gang for like a motorcycle club?
When you commit a criminal act and you are, and you can say be classified as a motorcycle club, once you start to commit criminal acts, you are now acting as a gang.
I think we're good.
Thank you.
Good?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And you all should have the headshot for the individual. I didn't see them. I sent it in the hallway.
Thank you for watching ANF Plus. For more breaking news, live coverage, and your community stories, download the Atlanta News First app. You can also watch us on YouTube, Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. To join the conversation on YouTube Live, visit our channel and hit subscribe. You can also listen to the Atlanta News First podcast by searching Atlanta News First on your preferred listening platform.